Suicide prevention in the workplace. And joining us is Connie Jacob. She is a mental health advocate. She's also the senior wellness manager at Wellness Innovate. Hey, Connie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Michelle.
We're so glad you could join us. You're based here in Calgary, as are we. And during COVID-19, it's been a strange time, I think, for employees and workers of all kinds. And Connie, you chat with these people regularly. What are you hearing from them these days in terms of mental health?
There's so much uncertainty out there, which of course, just leads so many into anxiety and worry, frustration. That uncertainty has really shaken people, making them feel like they have no control. And then on the other hand, other businesses are doing really well because they've been able to adapt and adjust quickly. But the ones who haven't, they're suffering right now, and their mental health is spiraling.
You had mentioned you're actually working with, a small group of businesses here locally, and you said that you were doing disaster relief, which kind of struck me. I mean, is it really that bad, Connie, for some businesses?
Some businesses, they will not make it through the quarantine. They won't be able to reopen. They'll have to close their doors, and for many, that is devastating. Anyone who's ever owned a business, you put your heart and soul into that. And so it's not just about losing income. It's about, it's grief. It's traumatizing to lose something that's out of your control like that.
Absolutely. Not to mention maybe, employees who are used to going into work every day at the office, socializing with others at the lunchroom or at the water cooler, and now we're all home, a lot of us. It can really play on your mental health.
Absolutely. Isolation is not great. Mental health, a lot of people think that our mental health comes from what we do to emotionally regulate. We go to yoga, we do mindfulness practices, and we think that's what creates a mental healthy brain. But actually what creates mental health is community and connection and being among others. And that has been taken away, and that is definitely playing a toll right now.
So with some of the business owners that you're working with and employers, what do you see them doing to help support their employees and their workers through maybe workplace wellness programs and whatnot?
Definitely the ones that are doing well right now, they are doing wellness initiatives such as the Okotoks Entrepreneurial Ecosystem. We have been working with them for 8 weeks. We meet on Zoom every Tuesday, Thursday at 1:30, and we just do deep dives into what does resilience look like right now? What does recovery from trauma and grief look like? And they are rising strong because they've allowed their people to have support around them. And anyone who's doing that for their company right now are finding in the very least, their people are strong. And when our people are strong, they're creative. And when they're creative, they're innovative and able to pivot and make new decisions that could make the biggest difference in how we move forward through this quarantine.
Absolutely. And so some businesses also choose to take it one step further, and they may choose to implement, suicide prevention training. I'm wondering what you think of that idea, and is it something that is welcomed in the workplace, or are people sometimes they shy away from it?
Well, people do shy away from it. And I think that if there's ever a time that we need to just get brave and talk about these things, it's now. One mental health colleague was telling me that people aren't dying from COVID as much as we are noticing that people are ending their own lives. This is because we are so quick to isolate. We push these things under the carpet. We don't talk about it. And like I said, you lose your business or you have a risk of losing everything. You don't know how to take care of your family. You're suffering. I mean, that is just a recipe for disaster. And so with what you're doing, with what we're doing, it's so important to be talking about suicide right now, because anyone who's shoving this under the carpet is adding to the problem.
You're right. We've heard a lot of people talking about, the mental health effects of COVID-19 might actually be worse than, the actual illness per se. So you're right. Talking about it, I think fostering that workplace culture where it's okay to be vulnerable.
It's so important. And, it brings us back to, what does it look like to be human? We've become so business oriented in the sense that everything is about a system or a strategy. We've reduced humanity down to tools to get the productivity of what we want. And if anything COVID has done is it's reminded us that humans are not tools to be managed, or, we need to put the human back into human resources. And the companies that are doing that are coming back down to ground zero, caring about their employees more than their productivity right now, those are the companies that are kind of come out of this stronger, because you will do well if your people do well.
Absolutely. What do we know, though, about companies that do spend money on mental health programs and employee assistance programs in terms of the bottom line? I mean, at the end of the day, I guess if your employees are happy, does the company do better?
It's proven. It's proven time and time again. Any company that focuses on the mental well-being, the physical well-being of their employees, those employees are creative. I read a stat that we spend most of our day, 70% of our day, in the back of our brain. So the amygdala, we're in the back, we're reacting to our day all the time. 70% of the day. There's no creativity back here. There's no innovation. So the companies that move forward and are able to adapt, it's so important and critical to pay attention and take care of the mental health of your employees, because when you do that, they're creative, they show up to work, they're not taking as many sick days, they're buying into the vision. Who does not buy into the vision of a leader who takes care of them? When they have counseling benefits, when they have access to support, these things make all the difference. And a lot of people think, why would I spend money on that? Well, the productivity only grows. It's been proven again and again.
Such important words. And the work that you guys are doing is amazing. Congratulations on that. And, I think as things are starting to slowly get back to normal, I was out this weekend and, some businesses are open. Hopefully, we'll be back on track sooner rather than later.
We hope so. There's a lot of heated opinions out there around the reopening, when and how. But all we know is that any company right now has the ability to rise strong through this, to pivot, to make adjustments that are needed, and to come out of this better than we came in, because I think it brings us back to ground zero and what's really important. If anything, if any gift that COVID has brought, it's bringing us back to what's truly important.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Connie, for joining us. We are going to put a link to your website at Wellness Innovate down below if people want to check it out or look into some of the fabulous webinars that you guys have coming up. And yeah, thank you for keeping the business community connected. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's been an honor.
Take care, Connie.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.